What's up, you guys? Welcome back. It's Mr. Eddie Barber, and today I have several of the newer clippers coming out of the company caliber. I have the 357 Magnum, the 38 Special, and the 50 caliber. Next up on the channel, we're going to be doing a series of tutorials with these clippers. And before we do, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, so that everybody's clipper is zero gapped, set up properly, and ready for success. So in this video, we're going to go through the process of getting these things set up, zero gapped, ready to go. And then in the next series of videos, you guys are going to be all caught up with the latest information, the latest and the greatest. And if you have one of these clippers, you're going to be able to do these fades the way I do them. And we're all going to start from the exact same spot. So I will start off with the 357 Magnum right here. And all we're going to need to do is take a Phillips screwdriver and we're going to hit these bolts. We're going to take them right all the way out. What I do is I get them a little bit loose and I'll just unscrew them and take them all the way out. Now there's a little bit of a spring behind this. Okay? And you can see exactly what we're dealing with. I don't want to mess with that spring. I don't want to pop that out. Not really a big deal if you do. We'll put it back together nice anyways, but as you can see, mine has gotten quite cacked with hair, so I'm going to clean that up. In here at my shop on a Sunday, because I just don't have time to do this kind of stuff throughout the week. So I really want my stuff to perform well. I don't want to run into issues while I'm cutting, and I definitely don't want to be fixing it during a full busy day when I have scheduled a bunch of clients. So it's a much better thing that you just take them home if you have to and do this at least once a week or so and just get these things ready to cut well so you don't struggle when you get your client. So I got this thing cleaned up pretty good. Now I need to clean up this. I'm just going to gently brush away some of this hair while I'm holding these parts in place. If you do pop this off, it's not really a big deal. You can see right where it goes. You just have the two little tabs where it plugs in. Make sure it's not upside down and you'll be fine. Okay, you can see that I have two little holes at the top there and there. Just plug them back in. And it's very important that you put this in the closed position, so it's all the way up in the closed position, and then push your blade down and get it as tight as you can without going over. If you should go over with your cutting blade, it's going to cut people, so you don't want to do that. And the process is basically going to be the same on the 50 cal, but we're going to do it anyways. The other thing that I always try to tell people to do is before you lock it all the way down, feel with your fingers here, and you can sort of feel the cutting blade hitting both of your fingers. You want to make sure that's in the center. This really hasn't been an issue with the 357 for me. I've found that like laterally it's pretty good, and as long as you get it set up and down, I've not had any trouble with it. We'll see if we can lock it back down without it moving by going just back and forth real easy. Boom. Alright, you guys can see how close I've set that. That was pretty easy. I got lucky, got it first try. Doesn't always go that way. Of course, you could get a blade setter or something like that, but I've never really been a big fan of that. Okay, 50 cal. For anybody who hasn't held one of these, it's really something special. It's completely different than anything else I've ever used, and when I turn it on, it's whisper quiet. And it is quite of a good quality. It feels really nice in the hand, and it has the clicks just like the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so basically you get about 5 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 different clicks to go through, 5 different positions you could choose from. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to zero gap this clipper same way we did the other one, but I need to take this off and clean it. I'm not going to show that part. I'll just show you how I zero gap it. So just by loosening it slightly, we could move this blade to the bottom blade exceeds the top blade. And you'll notice with the 50 cal, there's something really neat about this blade. The top blade, the cutting blade, is a very thin blade. I know that's probably difficult to see, doesn't come across well on the camera, but this blade is really a nice quality blade. So once you've got this thing set, you're just going to do the exact same process we did with the previous one. I'm going to jump back and forth, tightening it until I got it just right, and then we're going to lock it down. Once we lock it down, again, we don't want to see the cutting blade exceeding the comb blade on this one. So let's do this 38 special, and then you guys will be free to cut loose on some of the tutorials. So 38 special, this is their trimmer, and if anybody has not used this trimmer, this thing has a ton of power. Go ahead and listen to it. The blade really resembles the wall detailer blade. It's sort of like the standard blade, maybe not the wide blade, or maybe something like in between the two. But actually, when I got this clipper, I never did zero gap it. I just used it how it came, because it came pretty close to zero gapped. But we're just going to take it apart and see what's under the hood. And you always want to hold a little bit of pressure on the blade, especially when you're taking apart a clipper that you've never taken apart before, or a trimmer, because a lot of times they have a spring right here and the whole thing will go flying if you're not careful. Okay, you can pretty much see that it's very standard. It's just normal. You can see the little rotary moving thing there, two little tabs that keep the pressure on the blade. And I'm just going to take this apart and clean it real quick. Alright, now that I got it cleaned and we can see what's going on, I'm going to just simply set this back where it belongs. And in order to zero gap it, we're just going to have these two screws right here. You got the two screws here and here. We're going to loosen those up just a little bit so that I can slide this blade up and down. Like I said, I always try to get it as close as I can without going over, because if you go over, there's a pretty good likelihood you're going to cut somebody. Once you get it right, we'll just lock it down. Okay, as you guys can see, that's about as close as I like to set it. Next thing you see, you have two little grooves here and here, and that's where this goes. We're just going to put that back on. You're going to apply a little bit of pressure to the blade, hold it down, and that's it. We're just going to screw on those other bolts. If you don't have a magnetic screwdriver, sometimes I just use gravity to help me. Okay, and when you're done, especially with these, first thing I like to do is just test them on my wrist. If they feel sharp, you'll know it. They'll scratch you, they might bite you a little bit, but it's better you than a client. And if they feel good, you're gonna be good to go. So stick around for the next video, because we're gonna be doing some tutorials with these clippers, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody starts off on the same page. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon. If you guys are interested in any of the equipment you see me using in this video, you can head over to caliberprocorp.com. Go ahead and select what you want, check out their stuff, and when you're ready to check out, you're going to go to that little discount code and you're going to type the word EDDIE, E-D-D-I-E. That'll give you 15% off plus free shipping on orders over $50 domestic. So thank you guys so much again for watching my channel, and I'll catch you guys in another video. I'm out.